Go to Minnesota. Larry's watching us there. St. Stephen, Minnesota, an independent. Hi, Larry.
Good morning, Mr. King. How are
Morning,
you
Larry.
today?
I am doing fine.
Okay, I got a couple of questions for you. About how many meat packing plants do you have in Iowa?
I should be able to answer that question. I could probably count them up. I've been in many of them. There are quite a few, though. And pork and beef and also turkey processing in Iowa. Quite a lot. I don't know the number.
What's your point, Larry?
So you probably have quite a few, call it shareholders and stockholders in these companies also, don't you, in Iowa?
Well, I would expect that's the case. I start to look through a list in my mind's eye. I can't come up with many.
Remember, Iowa seems to be really, really white in color as far as the color of people's skin. Am I not correct?
I think that would be statistically true. You could look at the U.S. Census and confirm that, Larry.
Here's the problem. Iowa is a lawless state because you've got a total conspiracy between owners and their stockholders to screw the United States government out of tax money. I think Eric Holder ought to take a really good look at you and your state, because there's a lot of people in your state that seems to be what I would call lawbreakers. We've got them in Minnesota. All you got to do is go by the packing plants.
Are you talking about who they hire, Larry?
You cannot be that blind as to not know what's going on in your own state.
Okay, Congressman.
But I don't know that there's a connect or a disconnect in your point, Larry, about lawbreakers. If you're talking about some of the employees, I don't think there's any doubt about that. There are a good number of employees working in our packing plants that appear to be illegal, working illegally. And the technicality of the enforcement of the law, I'm not going to defend the people that hire and employ illegals. But what I do is I try to bring policy to the nation. If I decided that I was going to, say, focus on a single packing plant in Iowa and do my best to use all the leverage of this Congress to try to clean up a single packing plant, I may or may not succeed at that, but I wouldn't be succeeding at a national policy. So I try to look at the national policy, and I think if you look at each bill that I've offered has moved things in that direction. And I do want a tighter labor supply, as I said a little bit earlier.